What's up, YouTube? It's Winston. You're watching Fancy Boy Jeeps. Today, we're coming at you with a product reveal video. If you remember in my first video, I said something about stay tuned, we might have some stuff coming up on my lift. We may or may not have some plans for something in the future. Stay tuned for that. Yeah, that video. Well, today, I'm actually going to show you what I bought. Today we're going to go over the Metalcloak lift. I went ahead and purchased their 3.5-inch dual rated coil springs with their RockSport Edition Long Travel Shocks. Today we're going to go into why I went with Metalcloak. We're going to go into the price of the lift and the shocks and springs. We're going to go over what a long travel shock is, and we're also going to go over what dual rated springs are. Okay, so before I actually let you take a look at the product, we'll talk about why I went with Metalcloak. So at first, as you can remember, I have Rough Country 3.25-inch lift on currently, and I've been wanting to do something different that's going to give me a little bit of more articulation and get a lot more use out of my Jeep, as now I'm starting to do a little bit more off-roading. What I found with Metalcloak is a few different things. Number one, their product is extremely sturdy and they stand by their product. It's made in the USA. Number two, what I really liked about Metalcloak was the fact that I am able to piece together their entire lift, their entire suspension lift. So I can start with their shocks and their springs, and then down the line upgrade to their different control arms, the track bar, the front and rear track bar, and things of that nature. That was what really attracted me to Metalcloak, is that I can piece together as I'm able to. I don't have to purchase everything all at once. So now you know why I chose Metalcloak. We'll kind of actually look into the product a little bit. As you can see, I did get a little bit excited and went ahead and opened them. Some of the cool things that I liked about Metalcloak is that they did send some Metalcloak swag with some stickers. As you can see, I've already kind of put some of those on here. Metalcloak. I got excited. I'm sorry. So what we'll do is first we'll start to look at the shocks. And these are their long travel shocks. So I'll also tell you what the long travel shock is, because it sounds just like a fancy word. But what the long travel shock from Metalcloak, what it allows you to do, this is the rear. What it allows you to do is allows your down travel on your shocks to be a lot longer, and your up travel to travel up as well, a lot better than your stock lift, and honestly better than obviously Rough Country. When it comes to these shocks, I looked it up and I found out some numbers on how far they extend, and the rears are about 27.8 inches and the fronts extend to about 27.3 inches, which is pretty extensive. I'll let you guys take a look at the fronts as well. So as you can see, they seem to be, you know, a lot longer, the fronts. But what ends up happening when you install them is you have one of these bushings that go at the top and one of the bushings that go at the bottom. I'll bring this up here so you can kind of see it a little bit better. Okay, so like I said, you have one bushing at the top and one bushing at the bottom, and this is what keeps it in place. So while it seems like they're a lot longer, in all actuality, they're right there at the same length. Okay? I looked into what this black boot is. I still haven't decided if I'm going to keep it on yet. Pretty much what the black boot is supposed to do is keep any mud and dirt from getting into the cylinder and getting into the shiny part of the shock that you see on a lot of people's lifts. What I have read online is that it actually keeps a lot of dirt and mud inside. So I still haven't really decided on if I'm going to keep them in or not. We'll see. We'll see. Let's take a look at these springs. These things are beefy. Let's just do that. All right. And these are the front. I know they appear to be longer, but that's just because of how the JK and the JKU kind of sits. So even though they look like they are not the same length, and they're not the same length, once we get the Jeep on there, they will compress down and they'll be even. What I have found about these dual rated springs is, especially from Metalcloak, is they build these springs with the intention of you putting a lot of armor on your Jeep. So understand that if you don't have any armor on your Jeep and you're going with something like this, you're probably going to sit a little higher than 3.5 inches. Luckily for me, I have a full width rear bumper. I do have the Poison Spider rocker knockers, which are pretty heavy. I have the front bumper and the winch, and also the roof rack. So I do have some armor on there that is going to weigh me down. That's not going to have these sitting up so high, which is really, really nice. All right. So what the hell is a dual rated spring? From what I can tell is the dual rated springs are made so that when you are on road, you have they're a lot stiffer, so your ride is better, as opposed to a really soft ride where you're bumping all over the place. And then off-road, these are upside down. Whoops. They're probably still upside down. What these springs down here, these allow for the extra flex when you're off-road to match your long travel shocks. I originally was going to put the long travel shocks on with my springs from Rough Country, and I was highly advised not to do that by Metalcloak customer service, simply because the long travel shocks allow for a lot more, the long travel shocks, allow for a lot more down travel than what the single rated coils from Rough Country allow. So a lot of the times they were worried that my springs would pop out. So instead, I just ordered them all at the same time. So those are the springs. So now that you know what a long travel shock is and the true dual rated spring is, I wanted to bring you in a little bit closer so you could take a look at the shipping. And you can't fault Metalcloak for this. You know, it's a little beat up. I did order these around Christmas time, so I'm gonna assume the rush delivery and everything going on kind of beat it up. I'm not too pressed about that, just simply because at the end of the day, these are going to be beat up off-road anyway. So if they can't come in a shipping and get, a little beat up and nothing happen, then I would be a little worried. They came out perfect. The shocks came in an additional cardboard box and springs. I would assume that that's just because there's a lot more moving pieces in it. I wanted to bring you in a little closer also so that you could see some of the swag that they sent. The Metalcloak stickers, which I thought were really cool. This is probably one of my favorite ones. It's probably backwards for you, but okay. I thought that was cool. I can't find the stickers that are supposed to go on my shocks. They're RockSport shocks, so they're RockSport stickers, which I thought was really cool, just to kind of throw that on there. Probably not going to put them on just because I feel like once I get off road and get in the mud and the elements, they're probably going to come off, and I don't want that. It just doesn't kind of sit well with me, right? So I hope this video kind of helped you to figure out down the line what type of lift you want to go with. To me, the Metalcloak long travel and dual rated springs was a no-brainer. I wish I would have done something like this to begin with, but again, as I've always mentioned, I had no idea what the hell I was going to do with my Jeep, and now I do. So if you like this video, make sure to like it, comment, subscribe. If you're on Instagram, follow me at Rain This Way. Most importantly, keep those Jeeps fancy, boys. Side note, these things are heavy and sturdy, and I just dropped a shock on my toe. Mind you, I have on boots. Woo! Listen, you can keep your Jeeps fancy, but be safe.